Hello everybody and welcome back to Pung. Welcome back to the Technomancer walkthrough series. I'm Jacob, here to guide you through your way. And hopefully you're back for more and already know this. But anyway, alright, we'll just get going here. The last couple episodes have been a bit of a blur.
Heard from Captain Sean you're heading out to the station. You leaving now?
Yes, yes I am. Or I guess not a blur, but more of a... In fact, the opposite of a blur, now that I think about it. Rather slow-paced. But what I was going to mention was that I couldn't actually wait. Ooh, what's going on here? Oh, jeez. Golly. They are really vicious here. Ooh, I see the contrast now. That picture in the background and then them beating him up. Ooh, this guy. Send him packing.
Certain people are graduating to the rank of officer today, while others aren't even worth the expense of their time or energy. Let us be off to more remarkable
More remarkable things. What I was going to say was I couldn't actually wait to do more of this for Pung, because I actually started enjoying myself playing the game. So I went ahead and done some, which is... I started a different game, or a different character, and started playing, which is actually a pretty good thing, because that means we'll kind of take out the whole learning curve time of trying to figure out what buttons do what and figuring out where to look for what, and see, like, getting that right there and then finding my way back out and stuff took probably 2 or 3 times longer than what it just did.
Do you remember your first lesson on the scarcity of life? Indeed, the very one. Kill a fellow unfortunate, and in this hell, only the more alone we will become. Disable the looters, but spare their lives.
So now that he's told me that, like, I always play a pacifist character in RPGs. I like trying to be the super nice person that doesn't do anything. However, I want to see what happens when I kill people, even though he told me not to. Because, like, you have the option of... Ow, jeez. Ah. You have the option of basically sucking out people's brains, is what I think it looks like. Which I'm sure that some people have seen in the trailer and stuff like that, where they, like, jam the needle into the side of their head or whatever. Yeah, I don't think there's any... Yeah, there's nothing over here. Oh. What do you want? Ooh, missed me. But yeah, you have the choice of sucking their brains out, and I believe it gives you currency, because currency in this game is labeled as serum, which I also thought was probably fluid. So I really want to see if, like, I get money if I suck people's brains out, because I would totally be cool with that in this playthrough, because, it's more fun to watch a guy be a bad guy than anything else. Also, something I figured out was that at the very beginning, I should have picked out the... let's see, where is it? Yeah, I should have picked out the exploration talent. The reason for that is because we get to find creatures to fight here soon, And so when you pick this one, you can skin them and get stuff off of them. And you collect... Excuse me, sorry. You collect items pretty quickly, like craft items type stuff. So did not fail. Oh yeah, see, I got okay. So that just came up. So yeah, I got currency from it, which I want currency. So I'm gonna actually keep doing this, even though my master tells me not to, because I think that it will aid me later, and he clearly doesn't care enough to stop me. So I'm losing karma though. Not sure what that's gonna do to me later, but I have to say, at this point in time, I don't particularly care because I'm getting money out of it, and I really want to have fun with this playthrough. Which is also why I think I'm going to try my best to be a rogue class for this. Because I started playing around with the others, and being a rogue is fun, for one thing. But the other thing about it...
We encroach our destination. Take note that enemy forces lie in wait. There, the rocky outcrop. Scale it and report back your findings.
Gotcha. The other thing about it is I realized that I am not very good at being the guardian like I wanted to be. I can be a... Sorry, I just got in the zone there. I can be a warrior just fine. Flinging the staff around is great. But my only worry is that even though you do big area attacks with the warrior... By the way, here's some trash. You just can barely notice it when you look around the area. But stuff that looks like that little block of random clutter, you get metal debris from, which is crafting stuff. But anyway, like I can play the warrior just fine. But what I don't like about it is that the whole point to the warrior is that you can attack multiple enemies at one time. You know, doing area of effect type attacks, which would be great if it wasn't for the fact that those attacks don't necessarily disrupt everybody. So it's almost useless in my opinion. Because when you go in, you try to do that big area attack, unless you're disrupting everybody that you're attacking, they're going to hit you and disrupt your attack, which is really annoying. So I'm going to try to go with the rogue and see how far I can get. See if I can do it. Make sure that it's not too hard. If I start sucking really badly with it, I will switch. Okay, so now we've leveled up. And so what I started with before was going up this way so I could get the buffs. But since I want to play a little differently than on my other account, well, not account, but character, whatever, I'm actually going to go ahead and start with the rogue, so that I can start building up that those skills. Oh, wait. I think okay, no, there's nothing else. But do remember to check your inventory and stuff. This I can't wear right now. It says I need agility. So, but that's okay. Next time I get an attribute point, I'll probably switch it out so that I can get this, because it has stuff that I want. But anyway, the other thing that I was going to say is you might have noticed that I've stopped locking on to enemies during fights. It's because the game actually... Okay, I won't say the game, but it tends to be easier to fight when you're not locked on. Sorry.
A lot of them, but they're not equipped to be more than a nuisance. Take care nonetheless, Zachariah. That guard there, separated from his group. Sneak on him and the battle will be easily won.
Oh yeah, sneaky. So my point is that when you're not locked on, what makes it easier is when you're squaring off against so many more people. They have a tendency to really mess you up. when you're trying to fight other people. So as you can see, you know, I just get attacked from all angles. So it's So it's really hard when you're locked on to dodge, because when you're locked on to other people, what tends to happen is when you dodge, you move relative to who you're locked on to. Ooh, crap. So since you move, sorry, it's gonna take me a little bit just to get used to commentating while I'm doing this particular fighting, because I do try to concentrate to figure out like who's going to attack, where they're going to attack from, so I know where to dodge to. And that's just hard to do while I'm also trying to, you know, commentate and let you guys know what to do. But anyway, I'll try to summarize this really quick. When you're locked on and you try to dodge, you dodge relative to your opponent when you're locked on to them. And so when you're doing that and you're getting attacked by like 6 or 7 people, which is looking to be the norm for this game.
Please tell me I did not fail to train you better than this.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Oh, my karma's bad.
Especially that of our kind.
Depends on whether you kill them. Some has an essential impact on how your companions see. Okay. So yeah, I don't really care. With this particular character, I'm not going to care. I'm sure there's going to be at least 2 bad guys that'll still follow me later. But yeah, so the dodge will move relative to them. So it just makes it easier to kind of get in and get out as needed. And also the game has its own way of basically auto-locking while you're fighting. So if you point your attacks in a general direction, it will find a target. So it's not that big a deal. So it's not that big of a deal to not lock on. It's not going to hurt you whatsoever to not lock on to your opponents while fighting. You will still be able to find your target, no problem. Okay, so back to the task at hand after I finally got that muddled mess out of my mouth. So over here is an area that you don't really want to miss. It's got plenty of guys to fight, and there's also a couple of things that you can salvage from over here, which is nice. Some special stuff. Ow. Okay, so see, that's like, okay, so there is that issue with locking on. Is that you just have to make sure that you know where everybody is. Ow. So that you don't do what I did and roll into them. Haha, gotcha, bitch. His Technomancer powers are so much cooler than what the options were in the skill tree, I swear. Because he's like chucking out little lightning balls and doing some really twirly stuff with his staff when he's running around. Like, I think it's crazy. And then I get like a lightning whirlpool, a lightning fist, some buffs, but like that's about it. I'm just not into it, you know. All right, I know I saw a chest, and here it is. Open, open, open. Okay. Okay, so that had a trap in it. So hopefully, Okay, so if you hit the left bumper, it opens up this little menu where you can kind of assign things. You pull left trigger, you hit B, and it assigns it to that, and assign that to A. And so then when you're in the middle of a fight, you pull left trigger and activates that wheel that's in the bottom left. Okay, so if you go over here, there's a dead guy. And he has a pair of goggles on. So that'll give you an extra extra little something to wear at the start to improve come on, to improve your defense, because at the beginning you're not wearing anything, so goggles are better than nothing. This has more defense, doesn't have the fluid regen, which I don't mind because I really don't use the powers that much, or at least I don't think that I'm going to either, just because it takes up a lot of skill points, it seems like, to unlock new ones and really master them. And then on top of that, you've got to wait for the thing to recharge, and then sometimes it leaves you vulnerable. Like, I really didn't like the electrical shock because it leaves you vulnerable while you're sitting there trying to shock people. So I feel like anybody can just kind of come up and... Come on. There we go. Anybody can just kind of come up and disrupt what I'm doing. Oh, wrong button. While I am, you know, trying to be an efficient shocker person. There we go. Wow, I'm surprised that missed, because that was point blank. Ah, thought I dodged. Alright, so this is a little bit harder with the rogue to kind of keep your target while you're not locked on. With the warrior, it's much easier, and I guess that's because of the wider swing that it has. Makes sense, you know? Makes sense. Okay, so pick that up. Drain your brain. I'm also considering, because these sequences take so long, some of the combat sequences take so long, and because it takes me time to go through and loot everybody, that I think in future episodes I will try to excuse me, I will go through and actually speed up these parts, because there's really not much else to say. I can save everything that I want to say for after the fight, which will make it easier on all of us, you know, simply because... Okay, that's not what I wanted. Simply because we want to wait to craft just yet. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. There's like so much stuff that I just feel like I have to point out. But that will be easier on everybody if I just save my comments for after fights. And oh, I forgot I could level up. Ow. If I just save my comments for after the fights, like I really need to do right now. And everybody will be happier, and there won't be any wasted time in trying to talk while I also fend off this stupid gunman. Okay. Everybody dead. Everybody dead. And I can start draining brains, and I can start leveling up, and I can start health regen, and do this and do that, and keep getting worse and worse karma with every passing brain. Yeah, because this Technomancer don't give a... This Technomancer don't give a shit what happens to these people's brains. Too busy thinking about the money. Man, dude's gotta make a living on Mars, you know? Can you imagine how hard it would be? Like, how much serum it costs to buy a loaf of bread in this area. Like, I'm sure the taxes are outrageous. Inflation is crazy. This door is locked, but it's level 3, so can't do anything with it. Oh man, I wonder, oh gosh, now I really wonder what's in there. Because I mean, if it's a level 3 lock, if, you know, obviously if this game works like any of the other games I know where you lockpick, there's got to be something good in there. And it's going to take 3 talent points to get it. I'm really thinking I'm going to want it. Ooh, what is it? What is it? Bah! So I actually think that the wildlife in this game are pretty cool. Because they're based off of sea creatures. I don't know if anybody else has really taken notice of that or not, but the majority of the creatures... Oh wait, okay. Alright, so forget what I said earlier about the exploration talent, because obviously you still get to... Whoop. You still... Dadgummit. Stop it. You still get to skin animals. But I think what it is that you actually get more from them, because I want to say before I was getting more leather. But, oh gosh. I'm sorry I keep getting so sidetracked. I'm just like, I'm super excited about this game. There's so much good stuff to kind of clue you in on before starting so that you get off to a good start. But anyway, so I really like the creatures in this game because I don't know if anybody else has noticed too or not, but the creatures are, for the most part, sea creatures. So it's almost like they were trying to develop and maintain animals that would thrive off of fluid, or I guess could potentially harvest fluid so that you could use them later. You get what I'm saying? I'm hoping so. It's kind of like I'm in a weird state, I know, of trying to dump all this information out of my brain, but it'll get easier after a little bit, I'm sure. A little easier for me to keep track and for you to keep track, and it'll go smoothly. It'll get better. Alright, well, I don't want to go down there. I know that. Yeah, take that, shrimp thing. Come on, let me harvest you. I don't know why the walk seems to be really acting funny right now. I didn't have this much trouble before. Ah. But I didn't have this much trouble before with the walk, because it seems like I'm overstepping. Maybe part of it's because the controls are really sensitive. I might go back later and see if I can change that up so that I'm not like, sprinting after I just barely push the stick, Oh, and I forgot once again that we can level up. So I'm going to go down here, and I personally want to go down the poison path. I think that will be my ideal setup. Okay, so here we got some workers' pants too. I'm going to put those on because like I said, I don't particularly care about fluid regen, but because attacks hurt so much, I definitely want to build up more. I definitely want to build up more defense. Crap! I went the wrong way. I went the right way last time, like when I did it myself. Yeah, because there's a chest over here. really what I might do when I think about it is if I can get it in good working order and it doesn't take up too much time, I probably will start fast forwarding through a lot of fast forwarding through a lot of these duller parts where I'm just trying to run through the world, and get to places, so that way I can still show you where to go and how to get there. But what I don't have to do is every little piece, is every little distraction, And wasting precious time, I guess, is my point here. Because that's the last thing I want to do, is really take up a ton of time running through this. And that could also bring down the length of these episodes, which might be good for everybody. I don't know. Get through the same amount of content in less time. But anyway, there's important plot here. Sorry.
Talking about Technomancer, about mutations, as if I can't believe.
And yet it still might be so. This recording dates to the first settlers. Speaks of the first Technomancers. Shocking, perhaps. Where did you think our abilities came from? Divine power.
I don't, but we have no physical signs of mutation, and I don't know any mutant that has our gifts.
Then why should any of those things matter? Might not our mutation simply be of a different form?
See, I'm still surprised that they're focusing so much on the fact that it's a mutation. Because I can understand the people not liking those with mutations who are mutated by like Mars itself, because it's got that whole theme behind it of they're different kind of thing that makes them hate them. But with the Technomancers, it's like this wasn't necessarily a natural mutation. This was a mutation brought on by science. And so I feel like it's different. Like it's not the same. It's not that. In a way, they are special with kind of God-imbued powers, you could say, type of deal, just because of the circumstances. And I don't see how that would freak out any of the people, make them hate them or something. Especially after they're already using them as a resource.
And that's where we must go. I will divert the attention of these creatures. The base of the dome will find us. This woman here must have dug a passage. I'm on it.
Okay, so he takes off that way. We take off in this direction because there's stuff and enemies to kill, and pretty soon a boss. So on that note, we will level up real quick, just for the fun of it. Yes, definitely want that. Good skill to have if I'm gonna poison the people. And this one, I want agility because it's gonna let me wear that suit that I got, and also chance of poisoning, knocking down, electrocuting, plus 1%. Yes, please and thank you. Okay, so hope you all are enjoying the series so far. I will try to pick up the pace as much as I can and not stutter as much. So bear with me, come back for more, and like, comment, and subscribe for more PUNGinner. How do you like that name? PUNGinner how-tos. Actually, not how-tos, walkthroughs. Sorry, I'm still in One Piece mode. PUNGinner walkthroughs with the Technomancer. And also, if you have any ideas for other content for us, anything else that you would like to see, or anything that you would want me to demonstrate in games, feel free to leave a comment below, message us, however you want. You can like our Facebook group. You can also check out our Twitter and send us messages. Any medium at all. You can send us whatever feedback you have. we will take it and do our best to please the people. Thanks. Bye, guys.